What have you done recently to change someone's life?
Wow. That would have been a question I was given ahead of time to like
It's a
process.
deep question. I just
Um,
talked to him
it's a
yesterday, so I guess I could have sent it to you, but it's fun to see people come up with
no,
on the
you're
spot.
fine.
This is good.
It's just like a very deep
It is,
question.
yeah.
Um, I think this is gonna sound kind of cheesy, but it is what it is. When I met my husband, I had a feeding tube and I was not eating anything by mouth, or I had just started, if I remember correctly. And we we dated for a long time with my feeding tube for several months. And at the time, I didn't think that I would be able to have a normal life. I had kind of, even before my feeding tube, I'd kind of resigned myself to like, hey, you have all these health issues that even you don't want to deal with. Like, why would you ask another person to like get involved in the messiness that is chronic illness? So I'd kind of resigned myself to not having the family I wanted, not getting married. I was just going to live my life as best I can and travel all the time and see Anna Marie and Felipe all the time. Like, just they live in New York, just go take advantage. I met Brett and like he kind of changed my perspective. He was okay with my feeding tube. On our third date, I passed out from POTS. Woke up to him laying on the floor, playing his ukulele, waiting for me to wake up right next to him. He kind of changed my perspective. He changed my thought process, and he gave me hope. Is really what he did. He gave me hope, and I knew something was different about him when I met him. But even if it didn't work out, he'd at least given me that glimpse of, there is someone probably out there that I don't have to be alone if I don't want to. So Brett and I got married, and even in our vows, he joked about meeting me on feedingtube.com and being a cheap date because he didn't have to take me to eat out for, a while. It was just 100% Brett. And 3 weeks after we got married, Brett hit his head and had a traumatic brain injury. And he didn't remember, some of our best nights, he doesn't remember from the vacation that we'd been on when he hit his head. And he progressively has gotten worse since it, diagnosed with, rare condition after rare condition. And right now, I mean, that's honestly something I think I'm helping him through. When it first happened, I honestly, going back to my title here, was like, why is this happening to me? Like, I finally was given like a normal aspect of life. I have not had a normal aspect of life. I haven't been able to hold a full-time job, and I haven't been able to date and, do these things that people my age are doing. And I finally was given that aspect. When Brett got sick, like, I think the reason I was given my health issues is because he knew Brett was going to get sick. God knew it was coming. And I mean, we have support from close friends and my family and everything, but it's me and Brett together, and we're sticking it out. And I'd like to think that all the research that I have gotten used to doing for myself and all the advocating and the things that I've done, I'd like to think that I'm helping Brett through what he's going through, more than what you would expect someone to do, even being married to them. Sleeping in the hospital rooms nonstop. At one point, I actually slept in the hospital bed next to him for a month. So I'd like to think that I'm making things a little bit better for him.
It's a really special connection you all have. I think that's a really good way to look at it. They say too, like a lot of relationships, the way they get stronger are being able to go through things like that together, like struggles and things like those are the strongest relationships. So the fact that, I mean, looking at the future, like you said, it is like, it's almost like it was destined to a certain extent. It's like he helped you during your tough times because you were going to help him during his. And I don't know. I just think that's actually really special.
Well, honestly, when I first met Brett and we were doing the feeding tube and stuff, when I went in for that special test to see if I'd maybe get to come off my feeding tube, I remember being like, Brett's okay with this. Like, I really like this guy and he's okay with this. And I'm okay if this test comes back bad. Like for 9 months, I'd been praying that this test would say like, hey, it's all wrong. Take the tube out immediately. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? Like, he's okay with it. I'm okay with it. Like, I can deal. I can figure it out. I think we've I think we've gotten to that point. I mean, when he first hit his head, and we were really struggling with it, it was hard. 3 weeks into marriage, like it's not what you expect, and hitting your head on your honeymoon. So he my aunt, I remember she told my mom like that she believed it was something really special we must have, that the devil was like putting us in this place of testing us to see if we were going to survive this, this horrible time, because it was hard. Brett couldn't remember things that were happening, and he was getting overly frustrated over very, simple things that most people wouldn't, but it's an effect of traumatic brain injury. And so we went through it, and then at some point when you got this, rare condition, it was like no one believed us. And it was like, no matter how many times I was saying like, hey, like this is happening, I'm telling you this is happening, I am spending, I was at that point, I wasn't working because I was his full-time caregiver. And it was like, I am literally, the only times he is not with me is for him to use the restroom. It's like, so like, I'm watching what's happening. Like what you're saying is happening, it's not happening. Like this is something that is truly happening within his body. We're not making it up. We're not, sugarcoating something else that's going on, trying to like get around the system. Like this is where we're at. And no one believed us. But yeah, I mean, my mom was like, I think your health experiences are helping him with his, and we're getting there. It's a struggle, and it's not something you expect, right away after marriage. You expect to have, several years before you experience, health stuff. And Brett, like the second time he was in the hospital last year, he like, which I know the nurses like were shocked that he said it, but he was like, he looked at me and was like, you're supposed to be on the hospital bed, not me. Well, it's because I have health issues. So the nurses don't know it, and I swear they were like, what is wrong with this couple, like that that this comment is being made. But it's like, I understood where he was coming from. Like, we got married, he signed on for my health issues, he didn't have any for me to be like, yeah, I'm okay with it, but so yeah, so I think there was a reason that I was given mine, and that I'm able to help him now more than most people would. I mean, most people our age don't have health issues like this, to be able to know how to navigate the system and deal with insurance, and know that you need to do the research to find the doctor that works for you. So yeah.